Okay, I just gave everyone a few extra minutes, and give me a green check if you were able to complete the puzzle or at least got it started. And who can tell me the chat box, what is it a picture of? For those of you that did finish it, what was the picture of? Yep, Emily, good, thank you. It was the Agora website. Okay, now remember, if you were a student here before, we had a different website last year. It was Agora Eagles for years, and this is the first year we've had a completely revamped one. So if you are used to using Agora Eagles, that one does not exist anymore. And this is going to be one of our topics today. We are going to spend some time learning about the website. But first, before we do that, let's do a progress check. Give me a green check if you completed units 1 through 4 yesterday. That means you opened up every section, read every page, listened to the audio, watched the videos, went to the web links. Okay, good, good. A lot of you did. Now, I did check yesterday after school, and I saw a lot of people were skipping around and not reading every page. You've really got to make sure you do that. I saw quite a few people that spent several seconds only on the content, but then spent 30, 40 minutes trying to do the quiz and doing it over and over again to pass. So that is not the way you want to start off your online school experience. That will not help you doing it that way. You've definitely got to practice navigating through the modules. Make sure you know how to read everything on the page, how to recognize the different prompts, how to do audio and video and link out to other websites. These are all things your teachers are going to expect you to know how to do and actually do once you get to their classes. No one's going to be reminding you of this. Okay, so I will be checking times again today, so if you really did not read those pages, you need to go back and do it. That will affect your grade and whether or not I pass you or have you repeat orientation. All right, what about, let me clear this. How many of you took and passed the quiz, meaning you actually scored 21 or higher on the quiz? And I think there were a couple that took the quiz but didn't quite score high enough, so you definitely need to go back and redo it. Now, if you're not sure, if you don't remember how you did, click on the word grades on your class homepage for ORN 030. Right on the top taskbar, there's the word grades. Click that on and you can see what your score is. Okay, so it looks like just about everybody who's here. Let's see, Brianna, I don't have, oh, Brianna wasn't here yesterday. And it looks like everybody that was here took the quiz. Okay. Amber, I need you to retake it. You didn't quite score high enough. So Amber, please redo that as soon as possible. Okay, good job. All right, our topics for today, we are going to, as I said, cover the school website. We will go over more in depth the attendance policy. We'll talk about how to get to class recordings from previous days. Yesterday we learned how to find a Class Connect recording from the day it occurs. Now we'll learn how to use the calendar to jump around and find other recordings from previous days. And then we will get into something called contingency planning, and I will also give you some browser troubleshooting tips. Oh, Jason had a question about attendance. Now we are going to be getting into that this morning. That is one of the things we will talk about. If you are late is considered if you are 10 minutes late for class. This class starts at 9, so if you come in at 9:11 or later, then you are late, and that could result in you being marked late or absent entirely from the class. Okay, did that answer your question, Jason? You bet. All right. Now your goals for this session, by the end of class, you should understand how to navigate the school website to locate important resources and information. You should understand the school attendance policy and the procedure for excusing you from school and how to avoid becoming what is called truant. You will understand how to access recordings from any previous day. The importance of having a contingency plan to avoid missing school whenever possible, and have some troubleshooting information for some common computer problems that you can fix on your own rather than having to contact tech support. All right, now this is the school website as the puzzle. We're going to go ahead and, how many of you watched the video? How many of you watched the, give me a green check if you watched the video. Okay, oh, most of you did watch it. Okay, I was going to watch it here in class, but if we have time at the end, maybe we'll play it. But we're not going to watch it right now since it looks like most of you did. Now, if you did not watch the web tour video, you definitely have to do that. Everything that you need to know about school and everything that covers all grades from kindergarten through 12th grade is located on the website. There's a whole section all about Agora as a school system. More things about our school where you can find about the administrators and all the staff and so forth, academics, services for parents and students, bunches of resources and guides, things to help you, and of course tech support. And then of course if you scroll down on just the home page, there's all kinds of topical information about what's going on in school. So you want to get used to using the website. It's there for you to use. Many, many times, questions that everyone seems to have, if you just look on the website, you can find the answers without being lost. All right, good. Okay, now just some background on the website. This is how we connect. Since we are a cyber school and we've got students all over the state of Pennsylvania, which is a pretty huge state, that is the way we can all find each other and make sure that everybody is getting the same information. So, and one of the other things that the website is used for is accessing the OLS. Remember, do not use the K-12 login links that are bookmarked on your computer. We do lease your computers from K-12. That's why they have those links at the top that are bookmarked. However, always go through the agora.org website. Remember, you are an Agora student, you're not a K-12 student, so you've got to be using the correct platform. It is also a resource and support system. If you are unable to get a hold of tech support, or you really just need to find something out, or you forgot how to do something, that is where you would go to find what you need. On the home page of the website is also where you'll find various school updates, events, announcements, things like field trips or school-sponsored events. There are some links to social media. There's a Twitter feed, regional Facebook pages, lots of stuff on the school website. And always log in through agora.org. Now, when you log in, make sure when you start up your computer in the morning, you go to agora.org, use the online school login link, the one with the lock on it, and when you're putting in your student username and password, make sure the page is this baby blue and it says the word peak here. The difference between Agora student and a K-12 student is just simply the school. You are not a K-12 has their own school. Agora has its own school. We use some K-12 software, we use their computers, we use some of their curriculum. However, you are a student of Agora. So it's just like when you live in a town, there might be different school systems. It just is the school that you go to. You don't want to go to, the K-12 platform looks almost exactly like the one we use, and you have a lot of the same things available. However, they're not connected in the same way. So if you are on the K-12 platform and you turn in an assignment, very possible it will not get to your teacher. So, and then you won't get a grade on it and you would get a 0. So that can be a real problem. So you need to make sure that you're always starting out Remember, shut down your computer at night before midnight. When you turn it on in the morning, the first place you should go is agora.org and go log in that way. Just remember, when you're putting in your username and password, if the page is not blue and doesn't say Peak, we use the Peak platform, not the K-12 platform. So make sure it has the word Peak here and it's blue. If it is not, how do you shut your computer down? Emily, hang around after class. I'm going to show you guys how to make a couple of extra setting changes on your computer. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. Okay, now the difference between, somebody brought up, well, how do you know if you're on the right platform? Okay, this is the one we use. When you go to agora.org and use this online school login with the lock, the page is blue, it says Peak. This login link is this little purple box. The one for K-12, the one that's already set up on your computer, if you go to k12.com, you can see that the OLS login link looks different. This says K-12 on it. The page is white instead of blue, and they look entirely different. Okay, so just always make sure that when you are logging into your account, the page is blue. If it's white, it says K-12, that is the wrong platform. In fact, I did that a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone and I was multitasking and doing a couple things, and I logged into the K-12 platform. And when I got there, all my stuff was gone. My classes weren't showing up. I couldn't find my student list, and I was freaking out a little bit. And I thought, oh my goodness, what the heck happened? I was on the wrong platform. So we make mistakes too sometimes. But just remember, always this is the priority. If you work hard on your assignments and you want to make sure that they get to your teachers and you get credit for everything you do. The same way if you're reading things and the teacher is checking your times to make sure that you're covering your lessons, if you're not on the correct platform, it's not going to show. So you need to make sure that you get on the correct platform. That is the #1 thing to remember. Okay, now in Unit 2, how many of you read the attendance policy? Meaning you actually went to the website and read the policy. Give me a green check if you did it. Okay, good. If you have not, please do that. You really need to know all the little specifics about the attendance policy. I will go over most of them, but there are some, I can't go over every little item. So make sure that if you have not read that yet, that you and your parent both read the entire school policy so you know what you need to do every day in order to be credited with attendance. All right, so it looks like, oh, good, most of you did it, great. Okay, now a little bit about the attendance policy. It is designed to promote maximum academic achievement and help you develop your time management skills. Every day counts in your academic life. Even when you miss one day of school, that's a missed opportunity to learn something. When you attend school regularly, it stands to reason that you will do better in school than students who do not attend school regularly. And if you are not coming to school regularly, then it definitely will affect your test scores, not just tests in classes, but your standardized test scores and other assessments like the PSSAs, and we also use the CDTs, a couple of things like that. Raphael, you need to wait for questions till the end of class, please. I can't be reading chat messages and answering questions while I'm trying to teach, okay? So that is why we save all the questions for the end of class. And I'm going to go ahead and shut the chat box as well. Okay. Now, when we talk about the attendance policy, it's talking specifically about synchronous learning. Now, there is something called asynchronous learning that we're not even going to get into right now because it doesn't affect anybody just yet, but we're talking specifically about synchronous learning, meaning we're all learning at the same time, in real time, like we're in a class together, just as you're doing right now, not like watching a recording. That would be asynchronous. So why do we require that everyone goes to classes in real time with their teacher and their classmates? Because this is documented empirical data proves that this is how you get the greatest benefit from your education. When you are in a class in real time where you can interact with your classmates and respond to prompts and get the instruction for your teachers. We will get into that in just a moment. Somebody asked about fines for not going to school. We'll get into that in just a minute. If you are just watching recordings, you're definitely not getting all the benefit out of what you need, and you're not getting everything learned that you need to learn. So we really stress going to school and making sure that you attend all of your classes. And what does this mean to you? First of all, in order to be marked present for school, you've got to attend all of your live sessions that are scheduled. Now, in orientation, of course, you're only required to attend orientation classes. So if you start seeing maybe later today or tomorrow math and English, other courses showing up on your schedule, hopefully they won't until Monday, but sometimes they do. Do not go to those yet. Okay, just make sure you're only going to orientation. Now, once you finish orientation and I tell you that you have been approved to attend your academic classes, then you start going to all of those. And there are some days where they are called asynchronous days, and we just had 2 of them right before the winter break. On occasion, there are going to be days where there are no live classes scheduled. Does not mean you have the day off, all right? It means you still have to log into the school about 7:30 in the morning, and you're required to stay for at least 7 to 8 hours. However, you are not required to attend live classes because there aren't any. Sometimes teachers are out giving PSSA tests, or we're at a conference, or something else is going on. Maybe we have a particular training we need to attend. There is still a school day, and your teachers will give you work to do on those days, but it's still your responsibility to log into the system because it is tracked and checked, and if you don't log into the system, then you are marked absent for that day. And again, if you read the attendance policy, this is all explained in there. Okay, now if you are absent due to illness, a doctor's appointment, or maybe you have a therapy appointment or family emergency, you know, that's okay. No one expects you everyone to never miss a day of school. That's kind of unrealistic. Of course, you don't want to miss school unnecessarily, but when it does happen, you need to understand, well, actually your parent needs to understand how to excuse your absence. Now, in that Learning Coach orientation, all parents need to register for their Sapphire portal account, and that's where they go to submit what's called a student absentee submission form. It's an online form. They log into their accounts, fill out the form, and it goes straight to the attendance office. And if they don't do that within the allotted time period, then you are marked unexcused, and that remains permanent. Now, we are mandated to report all truancy classes or all truancy cases to your local district. So any student that is considered truant, a letter goes out to whatever district that you happen to live in. It goes to the principal and the superintendent, which is not a good thing. You don't want that to happen. So what is truancy? Truancy is if you miss 3 or more school days and they remain unexcused during the school year. They don't have to be in a row. Just any time you miss 3 school days and your parent or your learning coach does not send in an excuse note and it is not excused, it's considered an illegal or unlawful absence and remains on your record. Now, if you get 3 of those, then that is when a letter goes out to your local district. Now, there's also something called habitually truant, which is even a little more serious, where you miss 6 or more school days during the school year. So you definitely don't want that to happen. After every 3 unexcused days, another letter goes to your district. And what can happen is that maybe the principal from your previous school gets that letter, maybe gets 1, 2, 3, and then pretty soon they decide, well, the student is not doing well in online school, they're not going. So they can insist that you go back to physical school, and they can do that, and you lose your right to school choice. So it can get very serious. So if you want to continue being an online student, you have to know what it means to be present in school, and you've actually got to be in school, or you can get sent back to physical school. So if you don't want that to happen, you've got to understand the attendance policy and make sure that you are attending and keeping track of that. Okay, so what can happen if you're truant? First of all, you would be required to meet with your family coach for what is called a school attendance improvement plan, a SAPE meeting, you and your parents. And every time you get a new truancy, get into a new truancy category, then you have to have another meeting. Child welfare, CYS or DHS can also get involved. Pennsylvania is a really tough state when it comes to attendance. Pennsylvania takes it very, very seriously. So in some cases where a student is very truant or habitually truant, CYS may get involved, and you might have a caseworker knocking at your door. You can also have a citation filed in your district court in your town. The fine for unexcused absences in Pennsylvania right now is $300 per unexcused absence. So if you miss even 3 days, don't get those excused, and the case gets sent to the magisterial district court, which would be the principal in your local district, can do that. That's $900. That's almost $1,000. That is a lot of money for just skipping out on school 3 days. So really make sure that you read the attendance policy and that you understand this and that your parents understand this. You've got to keep up with your attendance. We can't keep our eyeballs on you. We don't see you, but we are responsible for your whereabouts. So if you're not in school, we need to know where you are, and we need to know that your parent is aware that you're not in school. So this all ties together. So there are some pretty stiff penalties, and I don't know of anybody who wants to spend $300 for every day that they miss school. And then, of course, poor academic progress. You could fail courses. You can even fail the grade if you fail enough courses. I don't think anybody in here wants to be in the same grade level again next year. So attendance can also have an effect on that. Now, if you get 10 consecutive unexcused absences, that's in a row, which amounts to 2 weeks of not being in school, then you are automatically withdrawn and sent back to your previous district. Okay, so again, keeping track of your attendance is very, very, very important. Okay, let's see how much you remember of this. All right, first question. A student only needs to log into the online school for a few minutes to be considered present in school for the day. Do you think that's true or false? Give me a green check or a red X. Oh, I'm so glad to see nobody gave me a green check. Yes, that is false, of course. You've got to be in school longer than just a few minutes. Okay, remember the school? If you took the quiz, that was one of the quiz questions. How long is the school day? 7 to 8 hours. You've got to be in school the same amount of time. It doesn't matter if you're in cyber school or physical school or homeschooled. Everybody in Pennsylvania has the same length of a school day. Okay, what about the second one? In order for a student's absence to be registered as excused, the parent or legal guardian should call the attendance office or leave a message. Do you think that's true or false? Oh, think about that one carefully. I got a couple people changing their minds. That one is false. Okay, remember, parents need to register their Sapphire account and use the student submission form to send in an electronic note to the attendance office. Phone call will not work. And that's simply because the attendance office has really no idea who's on the other end of that phone. Not saying that anybody would do this, but they might have their older brother call or a friend to excuse you over the phone, and your parent would not know. So that's why that will not work. Parents have to go into their Sapphire account and submit that form electronically to the attendance office. That's the only way to get an absence excused. Okay, third question. Student absence is not reported correctly will result in truancy and possible withdrawal. I think that's true or false. Yes, glad to see everybody is getting that one. That is true. If you miss school, you've got to take care of business. You've got to make sure that you have that excused and that we know where you were that day and that your parents know where you were that day if you were not in your classes. And the last one, the parent or legal guardian must complete a student absentee submission form in their Sapphire portal within 3 school days of the absence to excuse you from school. True or false? And yes, that one is true, definitely. Okay, remember, a phone call won't work. Can't just leave a message on the office phone. It's got to be using that web form in Sapphire. We'll go over that a little bit more in depth tomorrow, but just make sure if you have not reminded your parent to do that Learning Coach orientation, they've got to do that soon because it does take a couple of days for them to get their PIN number to log into their account. It's not immediate, so we want to make sure everybody has that set up and ready to go before Monday. Okay, now we're going to talk about Class Connect recordings. Now yesterday, if you want to watch a recording from the day, let's say later this afternoon you want to review this class, you can just click right on the link to that current day. However, if you missed anything yesterday or you want to review yesterday, you need to click on these words at the very bottom of your Class Connect menu that says Go to Class Connect. Okay, so instead of clicking on here, because this is only today's session, say you want to watch something from yesterday, click on the words Go to Class Connect. It will take you to a menu that looks like this. Now this one you can look at either daily, just everything from one particular day, or the entire week. There's a calendar here. So you would click on the calendar, find the date. So yesterday was January 3rd. You'd find Wednesday, January 3rd. Then look down here and find the recording and click on the link. It's really simple. It's the same, basically the same thing, only you have to go to this menu in order to find the recordings. Okay, and same way, when you click on the link, you'll get the little pop-up box. Click on the hyperlink, run the application. And when you get into the recording, you've got to remember to press play to watch the recording. Now, if you only missed the end of class, you can jump ahead. These are all transition points. So maybe you just want to watch the end, or maybe there was something in the middle. You can jump around. When you watch a recording, you don't have to watch the entire thing from beginning to end. You might only want to watch parts of it, and that's fine. Okay, I'm going to send you out a document. I want you to save this to your desktop. Remember, when you get this pop-up box, you're going to click Save, and it says Save File. You're going to click Yes. Then find your desktop and save it. And if you do have your orientation folder, you can put it right in your folder if you want as well. So let me get that document for you. So in case you ever forget how to do this, you'll have the resource. This guide is also available on the school website. Let's see, where is my file? Here we go. And give me a green check when you've got this saved. Now if you forgot how to save it or you somehow miss it, give me a red X and then stay after class and I can help you with that. Okay, I think it's loading now. Remember, click Yes, find your desktop, and save your file. Okay, those of you without checks, did you get the file? Abraham, Andre, Emily, did you get it? Jason? Okay, I want to make sure everybody has the file saved. And again, if you're not sure how to save it or you missed it, stay after class and I can help you with that again. Or you can go back and watch the recording from yesterday. Okay, now we're going to talk about what is called contingency planning. Does anybody know what a contingency plan is? I'll open up the chat box. Or even has a guess. What do you think a contingency plan is? Anyone? No one has a clue. There you go, Raphael. Absolutely. A plan B. That's a great way to explain it. A plan B, an alternate plan, a backup plan, an emergency plan, something like that. Okay. And you want to always be prepared for the unexpected. So why do you think so? Why should you have a backup plan? If anybody would like to type in the chat box or maybe get on the mic, why is it important to have a backup plan? Raise your hand if you'd like to get on the mic, if you have something to say about that. Anybody? Okay, Raphael, here you go. Go ahead, turn on your mic, and you can speak if you like.
In case...
Oh, you're typing.
In case,
there you go. Go ahead.
In case something goes wrong.
Absolutely. Simple as that, in case something goes wrong. You want to have strategies in order to make up or to get to school if things go wrong. When you're an online student and you're working with technology, I'm sure everybody knows that technology doesn't always do what we want it to do. Yes, Jacob, the power goes out. That's one thing. There are all sorts of things that can go wrong when you're dealing with technology. So you want to have some strategies for what to do when these things go wrong. So you don't just panic or say, oh, I give up. I can't get in, so I'm just going to take the day off. Okay, and of course, I like this cartoon. Running around and yelling help is probably not a great idea. We need to have a better plan than that. There you go, Nija. Exactly, in case your first plan doesn't work. Yeah, we always hope things go the correct way, but sometimes they don't. Raphael sees 3,000 contingency plans. Some days I feel like that too, Raphael. I hear you. Okay. Now, one of the things that might happen is your internet can go down. You're not able to connect, your Wi-Fi isn't working. So the first thing you want to do is contact your internet service provider or your ISP. Now, that would be the company that your parents pay that check to every month to pay for your internet. It could be Comcast or Verizon Fios or Atlantic Broadband, any one of those companies. This is something that our tech support cannot help you with, okay? If it's a connection problem, a wireless problem, a Wi-Fi problem, that is not something our tech support guys can help with. The only person that can fix that is your internet provider. Okay, so that's the first thing you would do. If you can't connect, call your internet provider. Now, let's say you call your internet provider and they say, yes, we're updating the system, your internet will be restored within 24 hours. And you're thinking, well, that's great, but I have a midterm today that I've got to take, and it's the last day to do it. I've got to get to school. So you want to have a plan. Is there some place that you can go to use internet if yours at home isn't working? Can you go to maybe your grandmother's house or a neighbor's house or a local library? Almost every fast food place on the planet these days has free Wi-Fi. Is there a place that you and your learning coach can maybe take your laptop, go and have lunch at McDonald's and log into your class and listen to it while you're there eating lunch? Something like that. Starbucks, yes. Libraries, McDonald's, I've heard even Walmarts. Some Walmarts have computer terminals and Wi-Fi. So lots of options. So you want to know what in your area, some options that you have in case yours isn't working. Now, if you are unable to get connected somewhere else other than home, then this is when your parent or your learning coach needs to get into their Sapphire account and send that excused note in so you're not unexcused absence. And then your job is to make up the schoolwork. So this is why you need to know how to find and watch those recordings. So every time you miss a day, now remember when you go onto your academic classes and you've got 4 you've got math, history, English, and science classes, and maybe some other things going on, that's 4 recordings to watch for every day that you miss. So when you go back to school after being out a day, not only do you have the full school day, the regular school day, that evening, then you've got about 4 hours worth of recordings to watch, plus the homework from the day before. So it's not easy to catch up, and it can get very overwhelming. So you always want to make sure that you can attend school whenever possible. Okay, now another thing that might happen is tech issues with your laptop or the online school. How many of you have had tech issues so far? Give me a green check if you've had any kind of tech issue so far. I'm glad to see some red X's up there. That's great. If you haven't had any tech issues so far, consider yourself lucky. But usually in the beginning also, when all this stuff is integrating into your system and all the software is opening and getting settled in, tech issues are very common. Those tend to ease up and iron themselves out after about a week or two. But initially, yeah, I mean, tech issues are just part of the reality of being an online student. So if you have any issue at all with your laptop, your printer, the online school, materials, anything having to do with the school, and you cannot fix it on your own or cannot figure out what to do with it, call tech support immediately. That's why you log in early in the morning. That way, in case you have an issue, you can call tech support before school. If you're trying to get into a class and you can't get Blackboard to load, call tech support immediately. It's important that you get a hold of them at the time you're trying to get into the class. You don't want to wait till later and report it because they can't get you into a class that's already over. Call immediately. Now, they will give you what's called a tech ticket number. Write it down and keep it. Now, you won't always need it, but it's a good idea to have it just in case, because if you do end up missing the whole day, that number needs to be included with the absence excuse. Don't send them to your teachers. Don't send them to your family coach, of course, unless they ask for it. Those need to be put on that attendance form by your parent and sent to the attendance office so they can look at the case notes to see why you were not in school. Okay, and then just like we did with Wi-Fi, if your school equipment isn't working, do you have another option? Maybe you have a home computer. Maybe grandma has one, or a friend, or an older brother. Or you can go to the library and use a public computer or a CareerLink, lots of places. So you want to try to troubleshoot. If your school computer isn't working, do your best to find another option to use so you don't miss the day. Now, of course, again, if you were unable to find another computer or you simply just had to miss the day, let's say you typically go to grandma's house, but there's a blizzard going on, and if it's not safe to go drive across town to grandma's house, of course we don't want you to do that, and you end up missing the school day, then your parent needs to go into their Sapphire account, send in your absence excuse, and you need to make up everything that you missed on that day. Okay, let's try, we're going to practice the whiteboard again. Whiteboard tools are open. Use the text tool. That's the capital A. Remember, left click on the A. Tap your cursor over here and put down some of your ideas for where you personally can go to either find a backup computer or Wi-Fi if yours at home isn't working. Okay, Barnes & Noble, good one. I didn't even think of that. I like Barnes & Noble. Mom's Hotspot, local library. Good. McDonald's. An aunt and uncle, library, Starbucks, mom's computer, your aunties, Hotspots. Good job. Yes, I want you to start thinking about it. Raphael, you've got to teach me how to do that. That's when I never play around in here enough to figure these little things out, but that's pretty cool. Friend's house. Good. Okay, you guys get the hang of it. You know exactly what I'm asking you to do. Okay, turn off the tools. Okay, now what we're going to do, now tomorrow we're going to learn how to upload and submit assignments. Now this is going to be the assignment. You're going to fill it out today, and then tomorrow you're going to learn how to submit it to me for a grade. So I'm going to send out a contingency plan document to you. So save this to your desktop and then give me a green check when you've got it. Just give me a second to find it here. And I'm going to go over with you how to fill this out. And this is something you need to fill out today and have it all ready for tomorrow. Don't email it to me or anything. I just want you to fill it out and have it ready, and then we'll learn how to submit it tomorrow. So give me a green check when you've got it saved. Now, of course, if you're having trouble with this and you need help, stay after class. I want to make sure you get it. This document's also in the course materials, and you can also find a copy of it in Unit 6 if you really need it. Hopefully everybody will get it. Abraham, did you get it? Jacob, did you get it? Oh, Raphael, I didn't see email yet this morning. I was busy. I'll have to check that out. Now you've got my interest. Yes, Abraham, hit save, and then you want to find your desktop and save it on your desktop. Okay, if you didn't get it, make sure you stay after. Okay, Jacob, if you're having trouble, stay after class. I'll help you. Okay, so if you didn't get it saved, I'll help anybody after class. Okay, now if you happen to, let's say I sent this out and you happen to click no, or you click the X by mistake, or for some other reason you didn't get it, you can always find any document that I send out during class. If you go up here to the word window, right above my picture, click on window, then click on show file transfer library. What that'll do is it'll open up this little box, and you'll see the document I sent out plus that other one about Class Connect recordings. So if you need to get it, let's say you're at the restroom or away from your computer when the teacher sends something out, you don't have to ask the teacher to resend it. Just click Window, Show File Transfer Library, then click on the document that you need, and then click on the little blue book. It's a save icon, and then you can save it that way. Okay, now the plan that I sent you out is the contingency plan. So if I can have a volunteer, I'm going to show you how to fill this out. Whose computer can I borrow? Okay, Raphael, let me try yours. Okay, now because this is a little more complicated, we may run a little past 10 o'clock today. That's okay. I'd rather you know how to do this before I send you off on your own. Okay, here we have Raphael all logged in through Peak. Everything looks good. All right, now if you didn't get the document, you can go up here again, like I said, to Window, click Show File Transfer Library. Here's the contingency plan. Okay, then click the save. Okay, and then you want to save it to the desktop. So if desktop isn't up here or there's something else highlighted, make sure you highlight desktop and then click save. That way it'll be there. All right, and then to find it, go to your Windows Start menu. Emily, you asked how to shut down your computer. Since I'm here, let me show you. Click on your Windows Start menu. That's this little Windows icon, and just click the word shut down, and that'll turn off your computer. And that's what you need to do every night. Okay, now to find your document, just go to the Windows icon, look for the word computer. That opens up your dialog box so you can see everything on your computer. Go to your desktop. Okay, and then just go over here to the right-hand side, scroll down, and find your contingency plan. Did we put it in here, or did you put it in your folder already? Let's see. got a lot of stuff on here. Here, let's just try it again. No, it's already there, but let's see, I couldn't find it, so let's just try it again. Now, if you can't find it on your computer page, what you can do is just go up here to search computer. I'll search desktop. And I'm just going to put in the word my. There it is. Okay, so open up your contingency plan. Okay, it's going to open up in the Microsoft Word program. Okay, now some of you, it may open in what is called protected view. If you see a yellow bar up here that says protected view, you can't type on here until you click the words enable editing. All right, so if that happens, just click enable editing and then you can type on the form. Now this is the form, let me just make it a little bigger. Okay. These are the things that you need to fill out. And I'm just going to fill this out, but I'm not going to, I'll get rid of it and get you another copy, Raphael. Okay, so let's say your name is Sammy Student. Okay, then you want to start building your plan. 2 places where you can get Wi-Fi if yours isn't working. Okay, so one place would be, let's see, maybe McDonald's. Or mom's hotspot. Okay? Now 2 places where you can use a computer. Maybe you have your big brother has one. Or your own laptop. Now if you have your own laptop, you can use it in an emergency. However, always use your school computer for school, even if you have your own, because if you have any issues or troubleshooting, tech support cannot help with personal equipment. They can only work on school equipment. Okay, so you put in 2 suggestions for that. Now you need to type in the name and phone number of your family coach. Now if you're not sure who your family coach is, go to your school homepage, look under email, and click on that Contact My Teachers list. And remember, there were 2 names on there that had nothing beside it, no course code or anything. One of them is your family coach, one is your guidance counselor. Now, Fallon Nicholas and Lauren Shearer are the guidance counselors. Now, you're going to meet with the guidance counselors tomorrow afternoon at 3, so you'll get to meet who they are. But you want to find your family coach. Now, not your learning coach, it's not your mom or whoever that is. So let's see, one of the family coaches is Lori Doherty, and I know nobody has hers at 1 for this round. And then her phone number would be, I don't know, I'm just going to make one up. I don't know what her number is. Okay, so you would just look on here, find your family coach, put in the phone number, then scroll down to, there's a second page on here. Now you want to have your internet service provider, your ISP information. That way, if you ever have an internet issue, you know who to contact. Okay, so let's say you use Comcast, and I'm not sure what the number is. Now if you don't know what the number for Comcast is, why are you not using Firefox? We need to get you to use Firefox. We'll fix this up after class for you, because tomorrow we're going to do something with Firefox and you've got to use it. So we got to get you using Firefox, Raphael. But if you need to find the phone number, just open up a new browser window and type in Comcast, customer service. And there's the phone number. And then you can transfer that onto the page. If you're on your school computer, that should be set up as your default browser, Firefox. So Diego, if you can stay after class, I'll make sure to set that up, make sure you can find that. Okay, now if you know how to copy and paste, or if not, then you can just write it down on a piece of paper and then transfer it over. Okay, so these are the things you need to have on here. And then the rest of the plan tells you what to do if you have an internet disruption or if you have tech issues, gives you all the steps. So this is your plan. Now this is what you're going to save for tomorrow. If you don't know what your company is, ask Mom or Dad, but if they're not at home or available, just type in the words, "I don't know," or "I will find out" in here, okay? That way I'll know you didn't skip the question, okay? So if, let's say you don't know what your company is, you can just put, "I'll find out." Okay, that way, like I said, I'll know you didn't skip the question, okay? So when you're done, after you've got this saved, you can simply, now you can either resave it. If you just exit out and then save, it'll save your changes. Okay, so once you have everything filled out, just click the X in the top right corner and click Save, and it'll save the changes. I don't want to save this one because I don't want to save Sammy Students for Raphael. I don't think he wants that Sammy Students plan on here. Okay, another way to save it is you can go to the word File, come down here to Save As, then you want to click on this little folder here that says Browse, because we want to, you always have to tell your computer where to put things. Otherwise it's going to put it where it wants to and then you may never find it again. Word isn't responding, of course. Okay, could be because we're in app sharing. That's all right. There it goes finally. Okay, so again, once you get into this Save As, then you want to scroll up here on this side, find your desktop, and then click Save. Okay, and that'll save it back to your document. And if you can also put your name on your paper if you like. What you would do is just put your cursor at the end. Now when you left click, it'll turn blue. You don't want to do anything yet because that'll erase the file name. Just keep left clicking till all the blue goes away. Backspace over the .docx. Just leave the title of the file and then you can type your name. And click Save. Okay, you don't have to do that, but if you're a little more tech savvy and you want to, that's fine, you can do that. Okay, so again, that's all you need to do is make sure that you fill out everything highlighted in blue. You need your first and last name, 2 ideas for where to get Wi-Fi, 2 ideas for an alternate computer, name and phone number of your family coach, and then everybody always seems to forget the last page, your internet provider and phone number. Ask Mom or Dad, they can look on the bill, or you can Google it, or just type, "I don't know." That way I'll know you can find that out at another time. And then just click the X when you're done. And I'm not going to save this because I don't want to mess up Raphael's file, but you would click Save. Okay, now then tomorrow what you will do is we'll learn how to submit that for a grade. Now this assignment is worth 40 points, 20 points for filling out the form correctly, 20 points for uploading it. Now today you're only going to do half of it. Just get the form filled out and ready to go for tomorrow. And it's a 9 o'clock class tomorrow. We will go ahead and learn how to submit it. Okay, thank you, Raphael, for allowing me to use your desktop. I appreciate that. Okay, so again, now I was mentioning if your document opens in protected view, click Enable Editing, okay, because otherwise it looks weird. It's kind of like a side-by-side look at it and you can't type on the document. You just need to be able to edit it. Okay, now some of you, that might not happen, but that's okay. Just if it opens up where you can type on it right away, you're good to go. Otherwise, click Enable Editing and then fill out the rest of the things on the form. Okay, and again, let's see, to find your family coach, remember going to under email, contact my teachers. Yes, Jason, if you have any questions or want me to check anything, wait till after class and ask me again, and I will be more than happy to help you. Now, you're not going to see these teachers just yet. They should start popping up maybe later today, probably sometime tomorrow. Hopefully they're not showing up till tomorrow. But look for it. There'll be 2 names on there, maybe just 1. I don't know if your guidance counselor will be on there as well, but there should be at least 1 name on there with nothing beside it. That would be your family coach. Yes, you do have a class of 11, Jaden. Okay, now a couple of troubleshooting tips. Now, when you click on this Contact My Teachers, sometimes, or let's say you're logged into the OLS and it says you've been away for a while and you need to log back in. And it takes you back to this page. Okay, do not use this one. Okay, remember, if you ever get redirected back to this page, you have to log out completely, go back to the school website, and log in through that blue peak page. Remember, anytime you get redirected back here, it's one of those you can't get there from here kind of situations. It always defaults back to this K-12 page. This is what we don't want to use. Or if you say your family or your learning coach is in their account and you want to switch user, it goes back to this login page. This is the one we don't want to use, so never use this. And we also want to make sure everybody is using Firefox. So if you're using Google Chrome, stop using Google Chrome and use Firefox. If you can't find Firefox or not sure, stay after class. I'll help you with that. Now I'm going to give you a couple of guides with some troubleshooting things, common things that do go wrong with computers. And you can look at them on your own time when you have time between classes and take a look at them, and also look at things on the website about troubleshooting. I'm not going to go over them here in class in detail, but let me go ahead. The reason you use Firefox, Diego, is because it is compatible with all the systems and software and applications and programs and everything we use. Firefox is compatible with everything. You'll save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of problems. Now, if you use Chrome, Chrome is not compatible with everything. And Internet Explorer is compatible with about nothing. So nothing works with Internet Explorer. And Google Chrome, you will have issues. So that's why your computers come to you set up with Firefox as the default browser, or should be, but I can check that for you. But always use Firefox. Now tomorrow we're going to upload some software to take a test, and it has to be done on Firefox. So that's another reason. Okay. I'm going to send you out 2 guides. So save these to your desktop, and again, you can, when you have some time, I want you to take a look at them. Let me find, there's browser troubleshooting tips. And I think I have another one here for you. Okay, how to clear Java. And is that it? I thought I had another one. I'm just going to send you a general resources and guides as well. Okay, so it's 3 documents I sent out. Give me a green check when you've got all 3 saved. Okay, good job, guys. All right, so what you're going to do now, once you leave this class, you're going to fill out your contingency plan. Don't forget to save it, and tomorrow we'll learn how to upload it. So this will be your, hopefully you'll get this done during the day today, and it won't be your homework, but if you don't get it filled out during the day, make sure you do it for homework, and so we can get it submitted for the extra 20 points. Take a look at the class plan, make sure that everything on the plan you complete. Spend some time on the Agora website. If you did not watch that video, please do. And then come back at 11 for the next class. Now, if you have any recordings that you, or if you missed any classes yesterday, you've got to go back and watch those recordings as soon as possible. So you know how to do this now. If you need help with it or anything else, just stay after class. And by this time, you should have completed units 1 through 4 and taken and passed the quiz. Okay. If you do not have any questions, you may go. If you have questions or need me to check on anything, please stick around, and I will see you back here at 11 o'clock. Work on your contingency plan, and I'll see you back in a bit.